Creepers and Geekers, Chris the Atari Creep here with his pretentious Q&A video. Do I really need one? No, I've got 36 subscribers and it just seems a little redundant. But I got a few interesting questions and I opened up a line of communication because of that. I thought it'd be interesting to see what kind of questions I get. And I answer them here. So with that, I got my little list. I don't have all of them here, just a handful enough to make this long enough to be annoying. And I got my coffee. And let's just jump right into it. And I'll explain the Super Mario thing at the end. God, that's so good. Alright, the accent. Where's my accent coming from? And if you've noticed, it comes and goes. I'm from the Boston area originally. 27 years old, I moved out to Arizona. And I've been here since 2001. Oh my God. It's been a long time. And I've lost a lot of my accent, but that's, when you do hear it, that's where it came from. Very first system was a Sears Telegames Video Arcade. It's basically a repackaged 2600 for Sears, and I think the only reason I got that was because my parents had a Sears card. We couldn't afford the system outright, and that was probably their way of getting the video game into my hands when I wanted one as a kid. And I like it better than the original 2600. I just think it looks better, and maybe because that was the first one I had, it's more nostalgic to me. So I don't know if it was birthday or Christmas. I just remember it showing up one day and I was playing it. So that's where that came from, and that's what that is. Next question. Favorite arcade or my dream arcade? A couple people asked this one. And as easy as a lot of these questions is, this is hands down easy. Centipede. Remember as a kid popping a lot of quarters in that game. I don't know what it was about it, the trackball or the look of the arcade machine itself, or the actual game, the play of the game, just everything about it just touches with me. And I probably spent more quarters in that game than I did any other one back in the day. And if I could own any machine at all, next to a MAME arcade, it would be just that. If I could only have one, it would be a Centipede machine. Why do your videos suck? Well, that's simple, because your mom's my director. That question was done tongue-in-cheek. I mean, that individual went on to ask, he said it first to be funny. And I actually know the individual who wrote this question, so don't think he was trying to be a prick. But to answer the question, I think he was really trying to say is, it's real simple. I got one piece of equipment to do all this with. It's my cell phone. I record it with that. I edit it with that with a shitty little program or an app that I downloaded. And I upload it with the phone, and sometimes the videos get skewed because of that. It's not an actual internet connection, and that's really all there is to it until I can get some equipment. That's what you're going to deal with. Newest console I own, I'm going to call my Wii, even though it doesn't play discs. There are Wii games in the machine itself, on top of all the emulation that you know about. Got a lot of it, and I mainly use it for emulation, but that I would say is my newest console. Next question was, and it was literally, why Atari Creep? That was all it said. And that's kind of simple as well. I was asked to be a content creator for the Gamer Geek Nation, and I panicked. I love Atari. I love everything about Atari. And Atari, I'll be buried with Atari stuff. And the creep part is just because I'm really into creepy stuff. I love the macabre. I love gore. I love horror. I love Halloween. Three-legged cats, Siamese twins. I love all that creepy shit. So I just smashed the two together. My favorite console of all time and why? Sega Genesis. Not that I think it's any better than the Super Nintendo or anything, but it was the first one I bought on my own. I bought the games on my own. I spent a lot more time with that controller, and it just, I guess that's the only reason why. I mean, I think all the consoles I enjoy have their pluses and minuses, and I do like and not like certain things equally, but I will go with the Sega Genesis, because Sega does what Nintendo don't. Do for a living. Guitar builder by trade. I was a career corrections officer for 13 years and had to retire because of an injury, non-related to work. And now what I do is I work in reverse logistics, and simply put, what that is large online companies have consumer electronics that get returned to them. Whereas before they would just put it in a warehouse and eventually liquidate it all to some warehouse deal, something or other. And they wouldn't make any money on it. So now what we do is we restore the value in the product by taking it in, repairing it if need be, we repackage it and we get it ready for discounted sale instead of wholesale. The company makes money, you get a good discount on the item, and that's really it. And it helps keep everybody a little more greener, and that's always cool. Not that I'm really a big nut on the environment and all that, as we all probably should, but the fact that I work at a company that I love, and we do something that's actually good for the planet, makes me feel good. And I also get to play video games at work. We get a lot of PlayStations, we get a lot of Xboxes, and a lot of 3DSs, so those come across my desk, and I love it. Let's see, how old am I? I'm 39. I'll be 40 in March. Born in 75. Hobbies. I knit booties for orphan dogs. No, I couldn't do that with a straight fucking face. Other hobbies other than video games, I paint, I build props. I'm really big into the Halloween, like I just mentioned. And this page was actually going to be multi-purpose to showcase some of that, and that would be for a different audience, unless that interests you as well. But yeah, I may still do that down the line. That's why I did Atari and Creep. So on top of that, I really am into, and I probably shouldn't mention this, but I'm into the paranormal. I had a few experiences as a child and in my early adulthood that I feel I needed some answers for. It just so happened that my lovely girlfriend had a team that she had put together many years before we met. So I was able to get involved in that here locally in Arizona, and I chose to use the skills I learned as a corrections officer in investigation for that, and for any other reason than to get answers for myself and to help out the community in what little way I can. And I'll never post anything, and I'll never discuss anything from it. We do it privately. We don't even have a web page. We have a little discussion page on Facebook, but again, I'm not going to name it here because that's something separate, and I'm going to keep that private. And that's that. Those are my hobbies. And I get booties. I'll let you decide on whether or not that's true. What's with the coffee? Coffee rules. It's the elixir of life. And if you don't believe it, well, you know, a lot of people say, well, water is the elixir of life. Well, water is in coffee. That's the main ingredient. And if I don't have coffee, I'm going to fucking kill you. So it's your elixir of life. And I don't care about hypertension. So 420 friendly? No. Not that I'm against pot or whatever. I'm just not into it. I don't have the money for it, and I just don't like my brain altered. I can't think as it is, and I don't need to fuck it up anymore. I don't even drink, really. Again, for no other reason than I just don't. I will on occasion, but just not really into it. Why did I start this channel? Because I felt I needed another creative outlet, and I thought I had something to say, and neither one has happened, ironically enough. But hopefully that'll change soon. Pin on my hat. Well, it's two of them, and one of them is Simon Belmont, sorry, and the other one is just the Castlevania logo. I got a bunch of these little pins, Atari ones, and you know, Galaga ones, and these ones are on my hat. I'm going to have some on my lanyard for work. So, let's see, my least favorite console of all time and why. I'm not going to say of all time, because all time hasn't happened yet, but that's easy. I'm going to say GameCube. Why? Because I don't think it feels like a Nintendo at all. The controller's awesome. That's about it. But in my personal opinion, Nintendo has a habit of making things that feel very Nintendo. And for better or for worse, they like to make things that are fun. They didn't follow a lot of trends, and you'll notice that. And that's why I don't think that Wii U did very well, because they're not following the trend of making things realistic and violent. They want to keep things fun, and I think that's awesome. I love Nintendo for it. But I think the GameCube is one of those systems where they kind of took a left turn there, but thank God they're back on the right path. And that's really the only reason, because it doesn't feel like Nintendo to me. Okay, let's see. One of the last questions here, almost last one. This is a funny question, and a buddy of mine from Canada asked this one. Is there a Nintendo or Sega creep, and if so, do we like or do we hate them? Well, I think it's really simple. I've never met an individual that goes by either one of those names. But should I? I think I'll quote Robert De Niro when he played Al Capone in The Untouchables, when he said, "I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burned to the ground." And that's all I got to say about that. Let's see. Next ones are real quick. They're versus. Coke versus Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy. Star Trek, Star Wars. Star Wars. All the way. Darth Vader is the greatest villain of all time. Oh, come on. There it is. I mean, come on. Even White River rafts. Gotta love Vader. Let's see. Sega versus Nintendo. I'm going to say they're equal. I'm not even playing it safe there, because there's a lot of things I like about both companies, and there's a lot of things I don't like about both companies, and it weighs out. So that's just about taste. Apple versus Samsung. Well, I use a Samsung phone, and I'm not much of an Apple or Macintosh fan, so I'm going to go with Samsung. Do I have any other collections? No, not really. Just like little things here and there that you see, trinkets and stuff. I have a collection of my own art. I used to have a lot of collections of horror-related stuff. I collected a lot of memorabilia for Friday the 13th, but I got divorced, and a lot of that disappeared with that. So that's all there is to that. And this is going to be the very last question, because this has already gone on over 10 minutes. And I kind of wrote this one in thinking, you know, one, it's going to lead into my next video. And two, I was surprised I didn't get this question from anybody, but what is my favorite thing to collect that's video game related? That's simple. Atari cartridges. I love them. And not because I'm the Atari creep or anything, but because there's just so much weirdness that went on with them. The diversity of how they look and the artwork, who was able to make them, and I plan on doing a video about that, and hopefully the next video will be about Atari cartridges. I know I talk about future projects a lot. I'm going to talk about two in this video. But I want to do a series of Atari 101. I'm going to put Games Worse than E.T. aside for now until I can get the proper equipment. It's just staring at that screen on the camera is annoying, so I'm going to wait till I can actually get a capture card. But I decided to do a series called Atari 101, and it's not really for a lot of you guys out there. It's for the younger guys or people who want to get into it and they don't have a lot of knowledge on Atari. There's not going to be any new information in there for most of you. But it's for the guys who are just starting out. You know, simple things like, you know, what Ataris to get, what's the best way to purchase them, you know, which systems should you own, how do you hook them up, just simple things like that. And the first one I want to do is about those cartridges, because it's the subject fascinates the hell out of me. So with that, the Q&A is over, guys. I hope you you got a little insight into my noodle, and it was at least entertaining for you. And if anyone wants any booties for their dogs, let me know. I'll crochet the shit out of them for you. Stupid. On top of that, I am going to do a tech-related video here pretty soon. Probably in the next couple of weeks, hopefully I'll start if I can muster up the cash for some of the supplies. And it's not going to be so much a how-to, but it's just going to document the process of something. And it's going to be pretty much related to this guy. Wow, 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 wow. And I'm pretty sure if you've watched my videos, you know exactly what it is. So I won't say it here. But I'm going to film it, literally just film it and then upload it. Film it, upload it. No real editing because, one, I don't have anything to do that with. And two, I just want to document the process and hopefully inspire someone to do something similar and maybe expand on it. And I want you to see my successes and my failures, and hopefully it'll come out in the end and it'll look cool and everyone will like it. And they'll say, you're the coolest cat in the world. So, let's see. All right, last. I got to talk about that. Kevin, up in Canada, he's got a page called Buried on Mars. Has a new series that he's putting out called Man vs. Game. I believe that's the name of it. And the first episode, I hope this turns into a thing. I hope it's not just this one game. Because it's such a great idea. I wanted to do it too, but chose not to for now. But his execution of it is gorgeous. He's got two videos up. It's an introduction and then the first part of this series. And it's the funniest, most entertaining, and most frustrating video I've ever seen in my life. But he claims he's not good at this game at all. He didn't grow up with it. And he's never beaten it. So he's basically going through it as a noob, I guess you would call it. and he's got to beat it legit. He's going straight through. No emulators, no save states. He's using the original NES, the original cartridge. He's got this sucker in his hand, and he's just going for it. And it's a great video. And the other reason I'm mentioning it is because I am so grateful for him to, he threw a small plug out for me in the beginning of this video, and I almost missed it. How funny is that? And it is so appropriate for this page. So if you get a chance, go over there. And that's not the only reason I mention this, because I mention him all the time, and he's been a great supporter of this channel since day one. And I really do appreciate everything he's done, you know, for me, as far as sharing videos and getting the Atari Creep out there in the world. And thanks, bro. I really do appreciate it. So with all that, 15 minutes, 16 minutes of ranting, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to go crochet some more booties. And hoping you guys had a great weekend. And I will start on that next video as soon as my phone charges up. And maybe you will get a second video this week. I say that all the time, but maybe you will. So with that, guys, you know, subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, thank you so much. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to me is very positive. And leave a comment. Share this if you can. Well, you know, don't share this video. This video sucks. Scroll down and share one of those videos. Don't share this fucking thing. This is dumb. But, yeah, thank you guys for all your support, and I hope you have a great week. And this is the Atari Creep signing out with a very friendly bye-bye. Yeah, let's play some Mario. No, you don't get to watch that.